Hi everyone. I've decided to make my video today indoors. I've already been and taken the beast from the Black Lagoon out for his walk today. The last couple of these I realised that they're pretty bad quality because there's the wind going and that's pretty much all you can hear. So until I get some kind of like funky noise cancelling microphone or whatever, I think maybe I have to do it in a car or like here when I get home. Anyway, that's not what I was going to talk about. I was talking about something, and this may sound a bit weird. I got very excited this morning when I heard a kind of clattering, kind of rumbling outside. And you think, whoa, what's that? What's that? It was actually a new wheelie bin being delivered. Whoa, you might say, well, knock me down with a feather or something along those lines. That kind of thing. But there's context. There's context, guys. Okay? I'm not that weird. I don't get excited about wheelie bins. The thing is, the reason we've got a new one is because somebody, and Cockney rhyming slang, half-inched or teethed or took our old wheelie bin. How bizarre is that? I would love to know the sort of psychology, the thinking behind that. You know, sort of like you get so somebody like they get pulled up for like stealing out of a supermarket, and you're like, okay, times are hard. I've got no food. What am I going to do? I don't want to beg, so I'm just going to go and like lift something and you know not saying it's right. I'm not stealing is not a good thing, but you kind of get why someone would do that. But why would someone steal a wheelie bin? Which, by the way, you can get for free from the local authority. All you have to do is go online and click. But when I did that, I kind of realised that this is not an isolated kind of thing. This is so weird because there was actually a box. It was like, are you moving to a new property? Yes, no, or is it lost or stolen? Well, who loses a waist high black wheelie bin with your door number on? You don't lose that. So I reckon there must be a fair bit of wheelie bin theft in the local area. That I find so bizarre. I mean, just imagine these things. They rumble when you pull them when there's because they're sort of hollow plastic, so they make a rumbling noise. When someone's sneaking around the middle of the night, like because it's in our front yard now. Oh, I think I'm going to take a wheelie bin, and they pull it along, and it probably took two of them because there was actually rubbish in it. I found two black bags of rubbish down the road that had actually been taken out halfway or whatever to where they were going. So how bizarre is that? So I'd be interested, guys, if anyone knows anyone that's ever stolen a wheelie bin, I don't know, or they can figure out what kind of mindset you have to do that. I would really love to know put in the comments, as people say, I don't do all that subscribe and click like and kind of business, but I am genuinely interested to know. But that's not really what I'm talking about today. What I'm talking about is something which seems so trivial, so silly, and so small, really. It is. It is just a wheelie bin. But it had an impact on my household. We like to keep things tidy. We like to recycle. We don't like mess. We don't like waste. So these things are important as keeping your life together. And it was my wife comes to me, my missus goes, she goes like, they've stolen our wheelie bin. And it was a big thing for her because, again, she likes to get the rubbish out. She comes from a culture where taking the rubbish out is really important, from a hot country where you've got to get the rubbish away and into a skip or whatever, as far away from your house as possible because you get flies and rare. So there's a kind of psychology behind it. So it kind of had a bigger impact than you might think on day-to-day lives. And that's exactly what I'm talking about, people. We do things and we say things as well as we go through life. And maybe they have a bigger impact on other people than we actually realize. So all I'm saying is, maybe if the wheelie bin thieves, the grand theft, it's not quite the Louvre, robbery, but it's close. Maybe if they'd actually stopped and thought, maybe because they might have just done it because they thought it was hilarious. I've seen others abandoned around the place and people's rubbish bags and stuff like that just thrown around. And So maybe they thought that was really funny when they were walking home at like 1 o'clock in the morning. Whatever. Or they needed one and they just thought they'd take it because it was there. It was easy. But it's even got a door number on it. Maybe like we need to check all the numbers of the houses in the same in the area. Anyway, so my message kind of thing, I guess, if you want to call it that, is just stop. Maybe those guys, if they would, oh, it's already funny, but if they actually stopped and thought, what are we doing here? You know, is this, are we respecting ourselves? That's number one for me, I guess, is like, are you respecting yourself when you do something like that? Can you look in the mirror and go, you know, too much pride is not a good thing. Arrogance is not a good thing. But self-respect, if you talk about pride in that sense, for me, that's a good thing. Can those people look themselves in the mirror and in the next day and go like, I'm a good person. I treat people well. I respect myself. I'm not sure they can, you know. So that's kind of number one, really, because it's all tied in together. Because self-respect, a big part of that is how you treat other people. Because really, guys, that's all that matters. That's all for me that we're judged on if you want to look at things in that respect, in that way. So stop. Think about your actions. What might seem something really trivial and minor, doesn't matter. It's just a little comment. It's just a silly little game. It's just a bit of a joke. I don't mean it in a bad way. I don't want to harm or hurt someone's feelings. But you don't know. So stop. Think. Consider other people. Respect yourself. But more importantly, respect other people and their wishes and what they want. And we'll all get on an awful lot better. And don't steal people's wheelie bins. Bye.